What is good, UJ fans? It's me, your boy Clicky, here with, I actually have a co-caster this time. That's exciting. Here with the esteemed League of Legends alum, Dear XP. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, dude. It's great to not only play, but now get a chance to commentate with you, the legendary commentator, Clicky.
That is me, the legendary commentator, Clicky. So it looks like Embry went to ban out Camille and Viego, two of Run It Down Mid's champs, while UJ is banning out Set and Lysandra, who are mid?
Well, Set's played a lot of roles throughout his history of being in the game. Lysandra stereotypically is mid. Diana plays usually either mid or jungle.
Okay. And then, so the Kate ban from Embry targeting forehead.
Right, and I got an opportunity to play with all these guys at one point in my career, except for our jungler, so I don't know what he tends to play, but it looks like they targeted his Viego, because Viego only gets played in the jungle. So it looks like we got threats all across the board, according to Embry.
Yeah, I would argue that we do. And, Jagermeister is historically the carry, but oftentimes that's kind of just how top lane can end up. And yeah, I feel like most of our team is pretty even in skill level. I mean, obviously there's some players that are better than others, but not like not a massive amount.
It's not by a huge margin. I agree with that. And as to what you're saying earlier, like I had an opportunity to play with Jag for a year, and it was quite a good deal to know that I could play a lot of tanks I tend to favor in the jungler, and I could rely on him providing a lot of good damage out of that top lane. So that was such a good duo. And it looks like the bans across the board, picks for our team and the other team. They got Jinx, Morgans, and Zhao, and the other team took the dynamic duo over Khan and Zaya. A little Volibear, probably jungle or top. We'll have to see how the rest of their picks go.
That's going to be jungle. I don't believe Jagermeister plays volley, but I do believe Deranged Dad plays some volley. And then banning out Malf. I don't know if anyone on UJ favors Malphite. Maybe they're just banning out Malphite because he's, like, good.
He is really good, and I know that Run It Down Mid's played a little bit of Malphite and stuff before in the top lane. But
not a lot.
No.
And then banning out Mord, which I know Jagermeister does not like to play against Mord in top. That is one of his least favorite matchups.
Mordekaiser is particularly irritating because of his ultimate. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
It forces you almost to have to buy Quicksilver Sash active item to get out of your ult. So anytime that someone implies the QSS tax, it's really irritating to your gold. And you normally have a route that you want to build when you play LoL, and being like compelled to divert your build path to throw out 1,000 gold to get this item to get out of a Mortal is really irritating.
Yeah, because then at that point you're effectively just 1,000 gold behind your counterpart, and that's a really big deal. That is a massive deal.
Speaking of big deals, we got Syndra in the mid lane. When I'm playing mid, which I didn't play as much as jungle, but when I did play mid recreationally, Syndra was one of my top 3 favorite mid laners and mages to play. So I'm excited to see some more Syndra action.
Syndra's the dragon girl, right?
No, that'd be Shyvana. Syndra
right.
is the one that, well, she floats kind of like a lot of champions, but she throws out these balls, and then she can pick up the balls and move.
Oh yes, now that you say that, yeah. Now I remember.
And depending on what skin she is, that'll kind of change the color of her magic and her balls that she's throwing around.
And then Ornn for Embry's 5th pick. That's going to be, what, Ornn top, right?
Yes, Ornn almost like 99 point whatever percent of the time plays top lane.
And then
we will figure out this last pick if it is for sure Volley jungle, or that's probably Gwen will most likely go top under Jag, and then Volibear in the jungle. I'm curious to know what sort of runes and setup stuff we'll see Volibear go in the jungle, because there's a few different things you can do with that.
Alright, and it looks like
before they get in their picks, I suppose, speaking of Volley and Ornn, I don't know if you heard that Udyr's getting reworked. I don't know.
Udyr's getting reworked.
Yeah.
Do we know what the rework is yet?
A little bit. We don't know what the abilities are all going to do necessarily, but we know a little bit of the cosmetics, the aesthetic appearance.
Okay.
So basically what they're doing with Udyr is that I don't know how much you know about the lore, but they're bringing Udyr a more centerfold in that Freljordian lore
Okay.
story where they're going to make all 4 of his abilities. You know that I played Udyr when you watched me,
Yep,
and he had
yep.
those different stance changes. He had the phoenix, the
Mhm.
bear, the
Yep.
turtle, and the tiger. Well, now he's going to change forms into champions that are already in the games. Like, I'll give you an example. So,
Oh.
the Freljordian demigods are Ornn, Volibear, Anivia, and there's one more champion that hasn't came out yet. So Udyr's 4 forms is going to be like a Voli stance, like Volibear stance, Anivia stance, Ornn stance, and then this other boar champion that hasn't been in the game yet. Not Sejuani, but a different one. So that's really cool because we got 3 of the 4 demigods already in the game. 2 of them are in this game, and these 2 do not like each other in the lore, Ornn and Voli. So that's interesting. But yeah, so Udyr will get those 3 forms, and he'll get one more form, but they haven't released his kit yet, so we'll see when he comes out.
That's really interesting, though, lore-wise. Like, just basing a character off of other characters that also exist in the game already is really cool.
Yeah, he was also mentored by Lee Sin. Udyr was.
Really?
So yeah, he's really reaching to everyone.
Yeah.
He's got 4 demigods he's basing his moves off of, and he's sort of I don't know about an apprentice, but he runs into Lee Sin, and he gets a little bit of training from him as well.
Huh.
So, but anyways, Xin Zhao and Lux, Demacians. I don't know if you know about that. And then we got Syndra. I don't remember where Syndra's from exactly. I don't know. Gwen's kind of new. Haven't heard too much about there. Zaya and Rakan, you know, the big lovers. The tandem down bot lane. And Jinx and Morgana. Jinx is a dangerous one. Starts off a little slow in the early game, but if she gets fed, she can do a lot of damage and is very fast.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'll unmute the desktop audio so people can hear that too.
All right.
Not that our voices aren't good enough, but having some extra noise in the background in case you do want to ignore us might be nice.
And then Morgana. I've always thought that Morgana, particularly coming from a person that loves playing champions with a lot of CC, Morgana's particularly irritating with that CC shield that blocks all CC until you pop the magic damage shield, but...
Hey, is that Black Shield or is that different from Black Shield?
It is Black Shield,
Okay.
yeah. That's her only shield that she has in her kit. 2
Right.
stuns, one of hers are ultimate, one of them's a skill shot, and a pool and a CC shield, magic damage shield.
And the pool locks people in if they're in it, right?
Her ultimate does. It puts shackles on them coming
Yeah.
out from her body, and if they stay in there too long, but the pool, that just lays on the floor, and if you're standing in it, well, you can walk off of it, though. It's not too big of a deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know what matchup in particular would be sort of the one to look up for. I guess for me, the one that I think is most interesting is probably mid lane. Like Lux and Syndra, these are 2 champions that both can do a lot of damage. So I don't know if it's fear, concern, or just like theory is that whichever one gets ahead first is going to have a significant advantage.
Yeah.
I do think that if a champion like Gwen or Ornn fall behind early, you can turn it around just due to the nature of the lane. But like mid lane, just 2 pretty aggro mages, I think we might see a first blood there early, to be honest.
Okay.
On one team or the other. It kind of also depends on how much early game involvement we get out of both teams' junglers. So.
Yeah, I know that Deranged Dad is very, like, he's super knowledgeable, but he isn't really going to be the one calling ganks. It's more he's waiting for other people to call ganks for him. And so that's going to depend a lot on how the lanes are looking. And I know, so one thing that I heard from the players prior to the match is that we don't know why this team is in our league because it's a diamond, 2 plats, and 2 gold players. When this is like a silver gold league. So yeah, that's a little questionable. But the diamond player is the top laner on Ornn.
Okay.
So my suspicion is that Deranged Dad is going to pick one of 2 mindsets. Either he's going to run it down mid, just fend as best he can up and top, and then try and gank one of the more even lanes, or he'll try to hedge top lane and make it so that the Ornn doesn't get super fed because he is the best player on Embry's team.
It is interesting though that your highest ranked player is playing tanks. Not that that's bad. I mean, I enjoyed playing tanks, and I don't think that it's uncarryable. You can never carry as a tank. It's just that typically you tend to put the most experienced people on the roles that are more carry orientated, and which would be your damage dealers usually.
Yep.
But sometimes having the best player on a tank that can lock people down and set up team fights to make them easier to win, even people with less experience, less rake, they could take advantage of you just sort of spoon feeding it to them.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that ends up working out. My question is, if UJ wins game 1, will we see that highest ranked enemy top laner switch from a tank role to a carry role in game 2?
I'd be very surprised if we didn't see that.
But the burden is on the team that wins to force the other team to change what they're playing. Because if you win the game, why bother changing?
Yeah.
Unless they ban the champions you played.
Obviously.
Then you don't have to change anything. It's up to the team that's losing to make the adaptations, whether it be both in their playing or in their banning and stuff. So that'll be fun to see how that goes from there.
So we're having the same issue we had last week. Where spec work, yay!
Oh, I'm glad we don't have to have one player's perspective. This will be much better.
It should pop up.
So my question is, do you guys want to, or do you typically do like removing all fog of war, or are we gonna play from so we can see both teams, or how do you do this?
I prefer to remove fog of war, but that's just me. I think it's easier for spectating when it's gone. But I mean, granted, you play League and I don't. So
yeah.
It's up to you. Why spectator lag?
I'm not
I don't know. I'm sure it'll fix itself. It's just being slow. I mean, this is still a step up from last week where we didn't even get here.
No, it's really strange that like in all the times that I was playing, and I wanted to go back and watch the VODs, you never had this sort of issue. And
it just started happening last week.
I don't know. It could be Riot, to be honest, but
the game is paused.
Okay.
It did.
Yeah, it looks like it did. So apparently the game is paused, and so that's probably why we're having spec issues. Let's hope that's the reason. That it's not even an issue at all. It just kind of looks like it.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see if that works. We love computers and technology. It's ironic, an esports team, but God, do we hate computers.
That's sort of a tough deal. But other than that, are we able to see items or anything?
No, doesn't look like it. Here, can I? I'm just gonna turn that up a little. That should be good. Directed cam, fog of war off. Is that fine, or would you prefer to have fog of war on?
Well,
'Cause it's up to you.
I'd be interested to see what it looks like when everyone gets in game, but if it's paused, maybe that's why we can't see anything.
Yeah, I'm sure that's. Well, I hope that's why.
Yeah. My question is, I don't know how long the pause is going to last for, so I don't know if we're here for 15 more seconds or if it goes on for
10
a few more minutes.
Yeah,
that could be the problem. But let's see if we got 4 people. It looks like, unless I'm counting wrong, on UJ team that are running skins this game. And it's just Voley's the only old bear out that doesn't have a skin. Unless it's a skin I'm forgetting or don't remember, but let's take a look at the other team.
I suppose I can just do that.
I think Jinx is. Morgana definitely is. I'm pretty sure Ornn is. Zinzao is for sure, and Lux definitely is wearing skins. So a lot of changing cosmetics here. And we have not played this team yet before. Is that correct?
So it's funny. Technically in bracket, no. But last weekend during the Clash tournament, we randomly rolled into this full team in Clash.
Really?
Yeah. And from what I heard, it was definitely like close. So,
But with the Clash, it would have been a 1-game sample instead of a best 2 out of 3
Yep.
like we're gonna get tonight.
yep.
But we'll see if that turns out any differently. Would you think that one of us would want to go check and see how long their pause is?
Yeah.
Just in case it fails,
I can.
we could switch or try to restart spectating or something.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me see here. Orin. Yeah, we don't know how long the pause was for. So we're going to check shortly and see how much longer we'll have to wait until the game starts. Sounds like we're going to end up restarting this here real quick.
So one thing that I didn't notice was that the little 3-minute timer that we typically have just didn't last 3 minutes. We kind of just got popped in like 20 seconds in.
Oh.
And so the game isn't at 3 minutes yet, and I'm assuming that it's just like display bug, I guess, if you want to put it that way, where we
Right.
can't watch yet because, we technically shouldn't be able to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really strange. Normally, it would give you a 3-minute timer before it puts you into the game. It normally doesn't put you in the game and make you wait at the beginning before starting it. So we'll see if restart of the client wouldn't fix that issue.
Do that.
Do we have a reconnect option as a spectator?
We can spectate individual people.
But we can't reconnect as a spectator.
No, not a full spectator, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, now we're back to here. Minute 53 into the game and we're still 0-0.
Does this normally happen when spectating? The 0-second thing? I feel like I remember this.
Did it happen for you yesterday? I don't know. I can't remember spectating. a
No,
lot of
I
games.
mean like in years past.
Oh. There we
There
go.
we go.
That fixed itself. Perfect.
We're good. We're Gucci. Direct to cam.
Turn off fog.
Alright.
There we go.
There we are.
Well,
And we're back.
2 minutes and 10 seconds into the game, and we haven't missed any first blood yet, so I'm glad for that.
It's encouraging. UJ down by about roughly 1K gold. Nope, not 1K gold. Looks like we are lagging a little bit. But there's some good, solid play coming out
Holy
from
Bear ganking coming
everyone
out of
so
bot
far.
lane. He's got a 1-level advantage on the mid laner. That was probably a 3-camp clear into a gank. Got a flash out of Lux anyways.
So what do you think about the top lane matchup? Who's favored?
Who's favored? I think they're even in the beginning,
Okay.
and then it'll kind of depend on if someone gets a first blood kill, that definitely, obviously, or something's going to put something in their favor, but assuming that they both stay even, it'll be about who's farming better.
Okay.
Because if one person goes back to base and one's buying way more damage and the other one's buying tankiness, then obviously Gwen will have the advantage. But Ornn engaging in there, a little trade. But if Ornn's able to farm better, he can build up his tank and make it so Gwen is going to struggle to do the damage she wants to do.
Yeah, and top lane looked really even there. Or the Ornn chunked run it down mid, but run it down mid dealt the damage right back with the flicky flick of the scissors.
Right, I'm not a Gwen expert, but I think when she has those max bars above her head, that might be hitting for either bonus damage or true damage or something like that.
Okay.
Like, I know that if he sits there and takes, like, the full brunt of the damage there, that can do a lot.
Insane and Forehead both getting out of the gank, so that's a really big deal. The failed gank there. Deranged Dad behind behind Embry's tower.
You know, they were able to get first blood, burn to some, and Volley died. But honestly, if Orin's missing a wave at tower and our team gets first blood, I'd say we win that trade.
Yeah, and it's definitely more impactful that the Gwen is leveled than the Volley being more leveled.
Right.
Because like the jungler is largely stuns, right? Volley is largely like CC, just enabling kills, correct?
Our jungler chose Volibear, who is going to be tank and CC oriented.
Yeah.
So
if
you had to choose where to send the money, send it to your carry top
Yeah.
lane in that regard, because Volibear is just going to play tank and CC.
Yeah. So his level matters way less than Gwen's does, who is all about damage.
Right. The other thing, too, is that Orin was able to teleport back up to top lane and catch a wave and not miss out on that. But you forced him to burn Tully, so now that's down for a while.
Mhm.
So if Gwen comes back up to top lane and is able to kick him out again, you're walking back the lane. Your Tully's on cooldown, so we'll see what happens. She's got a big wave coming into tower now. That's a lot of gold there if she can farm it.
Does have to be careful about the Ornn himself, but yeah, that is a large amount of gold just sitting right there at the tower.
You know, I thought earlier that the first blood might have come out of mid lane, but when the junglers make as aggressive as a play like that say, I'm gonna dive at level 3 under your tower, I don't care, then you can get some, either be the hero or be the zero, and I think we played that well to get the kill there, so it worked out. Volibear's in trouble there.
Deranged Dad does fall.
Yeah.
To Lux too, which isn't great.
That's too bad the camera tours didn't show how we got in that predicament, but we saw how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna manually spectate here.
Auto cam works good most of the time, but every once in a while,
Yeah, it just decides I'm not gonna watch the action.
it's like, yeah, I'd rather watch someone farming than someone fighting or whatever. But
So we see the Xin Zhao working his way down to bot lane.
yeah, Yuji's bot lane's a bit overextended. They do have a pink ward, and we'll see in a second here if that's gonna catch him or not. Orin's engaging on Gwen top. Xin Zhao gank bottom. This is the end of Gwen.
Yep.
So that's flash to get Gwen there. I don't know what happened at the beginning of the fight where she was that low health to begin with, but Orin found a way to outplay Gwen in there. It looks like bot lane survived the gank from Xin Zhao. I don't know what sums were spent, but it must have been worth it because both of our bot laners are alive and full health. Maybe they spent something or maybe they didn't. Well, look on the side. There's one flash down, but that was casted a while ago. That couldn't have been off the gank.
No. Yeah,
So-
so no sums down in bot.
Volibear's top, so this will be a free drag for, what's this other team called?
Embry-Riddle.
Embry-Riddle. They'll get the first drag. A wind drake.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we didn't play this team in Clash. I thought they said something about Moorhead. Unless Embry-Riddle is just like the name of the team.
When you
but I
say
don't think
we,
so.
did you watch the Clash?
Well, I was in Discord when they were playing.
Oh, okay. Because I imagine you didn't mean you
No,
were playing.
I was not playing.
When are you going to get into it?
No.
Never? Just when? No.
Absolutely not.
You don't need that kind of frustration in your
No,
life?
I get tilted enough at the games that I play. I don't need to play League.
Well, Orin whiffed there.
That
Oh,
was
but here comes
that was
Volley.
a hard whiff, too. That was
Yeah.
a terrible misread.
Oh, that'll be the end of Orin. And then Gwen is able to get the kill.
The shutdown gold is big.
You know what the biggest issue was? It wasn't even the whiff. I can tell you right now. Look up in top lane. If you're going to play over the mid of your lane, the center part of your lane,
Yeah.
you got to have ward coverage when you're fighting. Otherwise, you think you're in a 1v1.
Yeah.
And the jungler shows up and, oh, that's right, this is a team game. All of a sudden, it's not a 1v1 anymore. So, yeah, I think Orin lost that more, not because he whiffed the headbutt, which that was an issue, but even if he lands it, I don't think he wins the 1v2 against Volley and Gwen.
Does Gwen have a dash?
Yeah, she does.
Okay. So I was going to say, that definitely was not Flash that I just saw.
No.
I wasn't sure if it was like because of an item or if it was just innate to Gwen.
She's got a short dash that can go through some thin walls, and she also has a move where it's kind of like a Morgana Black Shield, except for she can only put it on herself. It makes it so she can't be CC'd unless you're in that circle. If you're close enough to her, you can CC her, but if you're outside of that circle, she can't be CC'd.
Okay, so like Morg couldn't CC you, for example. It would have to be a get up close and personal kind of CC.
Yeah, if it was a skill shot or a range move, you'd pretty much have to cast it from melee range in order. You have to be in the circle with them. So usually it's only melee CC moves, but you have to be pretty close.
Yeah. Which implies that Gwen is bad into melee CC junglers like Bully?
Well, I think she would prefer going up against squishier targets, but she does have moves in her kit, and I don't know enough about Gwen, but she does have moves in her kit that I believe are either true damage or based off an opponent's max health. So she has one. Yeah, that part of her kit will help her against the tanks, and the other part of her kit will help her against the squishy range champions that want to keep you away from CC at a distance. So she's got something in the kit for both of them, but it's just got to utilize it when the cooldown's up and be able to do it. So
the ranged dad getting in there along with Insanum.
Yep, despite the black shield and the flash, Volibear's still able to get the kill. Zenzel saves himself off of hitting the plant. Oh, but he goes back in.
Yeah, Insanum likes to play very, very aggressively, and sometimes he does things like that. And he'll argue, but it's my job to basically int for the team. But
well,
you're still kind of inting.
I don't want to, try to knock off every scenario he's ever done. I haven't watched all his games, but what I would say is that it's one of those deals where when he makes the big play and it works out, you're happy. We got the gold stuff, and when it doesn't...
He's a big play person.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I think that's always the high rolling. When it pays off, it really pays off, and when it doesn't...
It really doesn't.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see, because right now, we're up still. Despite being one kill down, we're up about 400 in gold.
Which is not insignificant.
No. So, I don't know. I also don't want to be the person that says, never take any risks either, because sometimes if you don't try to make a play, then you might never win the game either. So
exactly.
It's tough, though. But what I think the real thing is just trial and error. The more times you succeed and the more times you fail, you get more accustomed, okay, in this scenario, I definitely should be doing that. In this scenario, maybe I shouldn't. Now, right here, my guess is he's probably just trying to go ward, and that's why he took the binding there.
Oh, yeah, right there, yeah.
But...
And I'm not sure if he knew about the Zenzel in bot when he got 1v2, 1v3.
Well, he saw him flash over the wall. Or no, sorry, he took the plant. He took the plant over the wall, and then Zenzel dashed back in.
Or yeah, right. They were chasing Zenzel, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's a 3v2 against Embry, I think you said it was. And
yeah, Embry-Riddle. Yep.
Embry-Riddle. Okay, well,
good dash from Insanum there.
Both teams going back and forth trading aggro on that fight, but it looks like no one's gonna die on either side there.
But Embry-Riddle did get 3 of their team members down to half-ish health, whereas UJ only had, what, 1 team member, 2 team members take significant damage.
I think that's true. We were ahead in the health advantage, but I don't know if that's mattering here because the other team's starting Dragon. It looks like our team is gonna let that one go. We'll be down 2 dragons here in the early game, which
is not great.
It's tough to here's the truth about it. Unless it's a bounty, the stats and the gold aren't hugely significant. Where it starts to matter is there bounties on it? Do you get soul off of it? Come 10 minutes from now, will you have soul off of that? Then it's well, maybe we shouldn't have gave up 1 or 2. That way we went to bed and contested for only 3 and 4. So in the beginning, it's not horrible as long as you're doing something else on other parts of the field or can turn it around the mid to late. But we'll see if it comes back to bite them, being down 0-2 on Drags now.
I saw action going on up here, and the cam didn't want to follow, so...
Alright, well, we got a rift popping in the top lane. Now, he gets that off about a minute before plates go away, so that plate gold is going to go to Gwen and Volley here. Yeah.
It's a big chunk.
See, there's that CC shield. It says Gwen is immune, Gwen is immune. We'll see if this is Ornn ult lands. It did. Volley's coming back to help fight against Ornn and Lux. Nope. They're going to let her go. So, she gets away with it. Despite being that overextended, she wanted to stay. Gwen did, to make sure she got that plate gold and everything, and she was able to get out, so that was good.
Insanum and Forehead both tanking a pretty fair amount.
Such a big stun by
Oh,
Xayah.
that was so much damage, but Embry-Riddle just had a lot of their own, Jinx.
I'm going to be honest, as much as Jinx she's just auto-attacking, I think it's the Morgana kit. They're sitting on the pool. They got them the black shield from Morg, so Jinx isn't going to get stunned. That allows Jinx to keep fighting the entire duration. If she's not CC protected, I think UJ wins that fight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree.
it was a 2-0 exchange, but honestly, in my mind, that was much closer than what it turned out at the end. So
Is that her ult?
the big laser that goes down the
That was her ult, right? Or
Lux
what-
you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lux. It was
Okay.
her ult. Yeah.
Okay.
Lux has historically had issues with having an ultimate with a very short cooldown. So, and it reaches out really far. So it's not global or anything like that. Like, you couldn't hit it from mid to top lane, but you could probably do it from mid lane to Baron or to Dragon if you wanted to without even leaving lane.
Yeah. Yeah, borderline a cooldown.
Yeah, it's like late game, it gets like 20 seconds when
Yeah,
a lot
that-
of people's ultimates are like a minute to 90
Yeah,
seconds.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But that's just the way they made her.
What are the levels looking like? You just jungler up a level, you just mid down 1, you just bought down 1.5. I don't know if you can really count Insanum being under leveled as much. Just
They
'cause
don't care
we're
as much
not.
about supports.
Yep.
So.
Oh,
That's
that
unlucky.
felt bad.
And they sent 4 people to the bot lane. And I don't know how you respond to this, because that's going to be a 2-0 exchange plus the tower. Oh, Volley shows up. You know what my issue with this is, though? It's like, I don't fault UJ too much about not having wards in your own jungle at this point in the game. Typically, being in River at this point is more common. But, oh, Gwen comes in, and maybe she can help turn this around. Syndra's there, too. Okay, but here's the issue that I was thinking of, is during that whole series of events that happened in bot lane, what we saw happen is that other than the initial kill where they trapped our AD carry under tower, everything after that was one person at a time fighting the enemy team rather than fighting as a unit. So what my thinking is that once you lose your AD carry in that position, like, you'd almost be better off trying to make a play on a different part of the field. They sent 4 people down to bot lane. That means there can only be one enemy champion fending 2 lanes on the other part of the map. And I know that Rift isn't up, so you can't go and steal that, but maybe you push out top, or maybe you push out mid and you're able to take tower or trade something out there, because, I mean, you could tell me anything's justified by the ends. So if it would have turned around that, let's say, run it down mid, teleports bot lane, he ends up getting a triple kill because they stay too long. Well, then you could say, well, yeah, it was a good play. But what we saw happen, just based off of the results, was they don't get anything out of it for sending people there late. Volley shows up after the AD carry's dead, top lane shows up after the AD carry's dead, and they don't get nothing out of it except for a few more deaths. So I don't know. It might be better just to trade for something else on a different part of the map rather than going one at a time and in. I don't know.
And I suppose there's the counterpoint of UJ didn't want to overcommit to bot lane. Maybe they figured, you know, just Volley could pick up some few low health champs, right? And he's going to be CC'd for 5 minutes straight. That seemed fun.
Yeah, they cleared one ward in that spot, and then the enemy team put down another ward, and they weren't sure about that, is my guess. So they were able to CC Volley. And so here's the thing: UJ wanted to get a presence and get ready for this dragon. They really wanted, because now they're going to go down 3 Jags, plus they've lost 2 people. They've lost 3 people trying to get that drag now. So now it's 3 deaths plus the 3rd dragon. This is going to be not impossible, but challenging to overcome. Okay, I don't know what that all was by Orion.
He just whiffed.
180 degrees in the other direction. You know what he's going to say, though? It's like, I don't care if I'm the highest level on my team's winning, so even if I whip an alt 180 in the other direction, it don't matter. There are things that UJ can do to turn it around. It's not,
absolutely.
the game's not over yet. And we seen it last week, which was cool, turning games around. So we definitely know that UJ's capable of doing it. But what would be better, in my opinion, from a practical standpoint, is like not having to rely on comebacks and just like having the lead. Easier said than done, though. I've definitely played games where it's like, why are we struggling in the early? So Megan Money clearing wards. That'll be the final rift. Going to UJ. With a minute to spare before that turned into Baron. Yeah. Now we're clearing wards of our own. The other team. It's always interesting once laning phase is kind of done, because then it's like teams just kind of just sort of wait around and let's farm and wait until we have to fight for the next drag again. Sometimes. When you're losing, I know you want to catch up. You want to try to do some good farming to come back and make a money through that. But sometimes what might even be better is like, we know we're down gold. We know we're down 3 drags and whatever. Maybe we need to get some better vision and try to like pick off the enemy team, because when a team's winning, they're usually can be a little bit more overconfident and sloppy with the warding, because they have more control of them. Like, they're way around the map more often, so you can find more gaps in their vision. If you're left with only just a part of your map because you're losing, it isn't that hard to ward when you only have so much of your map available. But when you're winning and you have that much of the map, it's hard to ward everything. So sometimes if you can find where they're not warded, sweep it out, vision it out, you can pick some of the enemy team off and then try to find a way to make a comeback. But like right here, Xin Zhao doesn't have the vision there, and that is way too cocky for Xin. I mean, he lucked out because of his ultimate. But think about that. You don't know where UJ's at. You're not with your teammates. You just go in there and face check. And if he didn't have that ultimate, he would have died for that. And that's exactly what I was talking about.
What's our viewership looking like? I didn't want to alt-tab for fear of pausing the spec.
Oh, so you're going to do it that way? Sure.
We have 8 viewers. Exciting, exciting. What's poppin', 8 viewers? It's me, your boy.
8 viewers silently lurking in chat.
Why did it just die at like...
Because otherwise we would have saw them, right? In the chat feed if they were saying anything.
Oh, yeah. Why did the Herald just die at like 2,500 health? Was that because of Morg? Or what was the...
They maybe hit the eye. There's an eye on the back of Rift that if you hit it, it's like a crit, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's the same thing when junglers or anyone's trying to take the Rift as a camp. The eye opens and closes. If you proc the crit, it'll close for a while because it's like healing its wound.
Yeah.
And then it opens up again later. But yeah, if you hit the eye, that's a crit.
Oh, didn't know that.
So
good to know.
That'd be my guess. Unless someone walked up and smited it, but only junglers roll a smite.
Yeah.
So. Oh, big stun. This is an ult. Oh, she got her right at the end. Shutdown money. And that's one of Syndra's specialty, is that with her ultimate, you find one person you really don't like, and you can do a lot of damage to them.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a lot of damage onto the Morg there, too.
It looked like 2 abilities that Syndra used to do that much damage to Morg.
Was it 2?
So, it's probably a Q and an E.
Okay.
Yeah. That's her W. You see where she's grabbing it with a chain?
Yeah.
So her W will grab either a minion or a ball or like a pet like Tibbers or something, and then she can throw it at people.
UJ picking up a kill borderline for free.
And that's what UJ is going to have to do to get back into this game, is find situations where if we can quickly eliminate one of their people because they're too cocky, they're out of position, they're not warding, whatever the reason, all of a sudden, it's a 5v4. And even though you have that gold advantage, it still ain't going to make up for a 5v4 or a 3v2 or whatever the situation is. So.
Ooh. I believe that was very lucky and not inhuman reactions from Run It Down mid. But there are 3 members of Embry-Riddle down here.
I think you can react off of that. Actually.
Can you?
Yeah, I think you can. Jinx W is on the way. So there's a wind-up animation and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that was a very large Orin ult.
we get the dragon off of that, though. We'll see how we do in kills here.
Oh, they're so low. It's so sad that he can't go in.
Well, what the other team's picking for right now, they're saying, I know we lost the drag. We're down low on health, but
Let's say won the team fight.
we won the team fight. It's 4v1. Let's go take Baron.
Yeah.
We lost drag. Let's take Baron. The only one that can maybe do something is Syndra, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to say, we got snares from Lux, bindings from Org, Let's just ward it. If Syndra tries to show up, we're going to stun her. We're going to kill her. See, here we go. Syndra said, I got to go steal Baron. Oh, no. They're going to protect for Baron. Yeah, that's very typical of what a team would do. We got a TP coming in from the UJ, but Xin Zhao's right there to meet Gwen. Gwen's coming. Oh, do they have to give because of the Gwen TP?
Everyone's so low.
Yeah, there's the Zhonya's.
This can happen. No, maybe not.
Died. Rakan's dead. 2 people dead.
UJ, just not cohesive enough. It's just one by one, and it doesn't matter if everyone's 1 health on Embry-Riddle if they're all behind their 12,000 health teammates.
Right. I understand Run It Down Mid's reasoning. He wants to get him off of Baron, which he did that. Downside is, well, now you're down a player again.
Yeah.
And when he's sitting in base, he's not getting gold, he's not getting levels, but you did deny them Baron, so there is a silver lining there.
Yeah, I guess. It's just levels are looking kind of grim. Not terribly grim, but like the forehead and bread enthusiast disparity there is a bit rough. And
You can't do this either. 1v3
yeah,
is Volibear.
no.
I'm curious to see how we're doing for items and gold and stuff here. Gwen, or sorry, not Gwen, Ornn, I don't know if you know this, he has the ability to upgrade people's items. He's got an upgraded mythic item. And he gave Jinx an upgraded mythic item with their 9 and 180 carry with bonus stats. So here's the thing. Gwen died, Volibear got picked off, so now they say, well, we're just going to start Baron again anyways.
So bit of an early commit from UJ. Run It Down Mid pops stopwatch, which does delay a little bit of time, but it's not really going to end up doing anything. Forehead gets blown up.
No, and what was Syndra's health? Syndra was really low too.
Yeah. The commit was just too early for UJ.
Well, we can't go back in time and look at it because we're watching over this live, but it looked like 2 people were in the Dragon Pit and 2 people were outside the Dragon Pit. And I know your ranged champions aren't right there with the melee champions. I get that, but Voli's going to try to smite. Oh, and he gets it with the smite steal. That's pretty neat. Was the enemy the enemy jungler was there. He just says that doesn't matter.
So
silver lining again. We lose. Everyone dies, but we steal the Baron. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, the Ultra Power Ranger minions, I guess, are gonna do the jobs of some of UJ's champs for a little bit. They're gonna at least delay things. So lost team fight, but it's
not horrible.
I mean, Embry-Riddle can't push off one team fight.
Yeah. I'm going to say that between the Dragon Exchange and the Baron Exchange and the stuff in between that, mostly not great for UJ, but there's a couple good silver linings in all those plays.
I'm just going to... quick.
Oh, looks like we're fighting here again. Syndra's got a big stun on Lux. So they'll go down. Syndra's got to cast that W. Oh, it's the end of Syndra. There's been multiple times in this game, 27 minutes worth for this game, where we've gotten players on the enemy team down within 100, 200 health and just
haven't
one
been able
move
to
off
capitalize.
from killing them.
Yep.
And that's been making the difference because that adds up over time. Happens every once in a while, not the end of the world, but when it's happening fight after fight after fight, then you're not getting that gold, they're staying alive, getting more XP, getting more farm, and it's just compounds on itself to make it harder and harder to win the game.
PK in chat yelling big, very big steal from Deranged Dad, the homie.
Yeah.
First time chat from PK. I get different accounts, I guess.
You know this, man?
Oh, yeah. PK's definitely been in our chat before, but I guess not on this account.
Gwen's a little bit out of position, but she'll get out. Oh, was this just a big debate so we can maybe get Baron? No, they're collapsing on that.
Uh-oh.
We'll see. Syndra got a big stun. Voli got the drag. Again. This guy's smite. I don't know if Voli's been amazing at smiting or Xin Zhao's been really bad at smiting, but that's one way to turn it around.
Wait. Hold on. UJ just won that fight.
They did.
Run it down mid just got a quad.
Yep, and Lux might die here if Volley can get a hold of her. No, there's a snare.
Yeah, that was a really good
Syndra
snare.
could still come up. Syndra does a lot of damage here. But I think Syndra's on a ward. No, she's not. We'll see. Oh, there's the flash out of Lux to stay alive. Ooh, big Q from Syndra, but Lux is going to survive.
Lux with the ult, though.
Yep.
Didn't connect onto Syndra, which probably would have killed her, no?
It very well could have. Lux ults are one of those deals where if you're not snared, it's easier to dodge because there is a delay on that. You have time to react and get out. Especially by the time you have level 2 boots, which I imagine most of everyone on our team does. Yeah, you can normally walk out of it before it goes out when you have that kind of movement speed.
Mm-hmm. So UJ just claiming that tower in mid.
And with that one fight where they got the quad, they went back from being down, like, I think they were down like near 5k, and now they're only down within like 1k or something or 2. So that was a nice turnaround in gold, and yeah, we're landing our smites. We're doing the things we need to do to secure these barons and secure these dragons. So, but one slip up and all of a sudden they got soul, so we have to get the next 2 dragons to make it worth it.
So much damage.
That's what most AD carries do. Most of them start out pretty weak in the early game. Some of them are strong early, but most of them start out pretty weak and they get pretty wild late game, where they're killing people with like 3 auto attacks and stuff.
I mean, yeah, like Miss Fortune starts out pretty alright, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think some of the best early game ones would be like Lucian or Draven.
Yeah.
Maybe Brutal, no vision. And that's what both teams ought to be trying to do, is like, let's see if we can find someone by themselves and all of a sudden make this game a 5v4.
Insanum better play real carefully because he'll get blown up very quickly right here. That is Insanum, right? I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah, T-Spoiled was one that died. Insanum's on Rakan. Here's Volibear.
Volley
or Snare.
could also just die.
Gwen went in. Gwen will get the kill
big
here probably.
stopwatch, but it's not going to end up claiming
Gwen might get this
anything.
kill. Morgana too, we'll see. No, she's going to go back in and help her teammates here. She's getting pretty low. Jinx is just one person to another. Rakan, was he in that fight at all? Rakan's full health. My guess is Rakan was never in the fight.
I thought wasn't that him prancing in mid?
I don't remember now. Volibear might escape here with a tick of life. Yeah, dodges the ultimate from Jinx and everything. Voli will live, but Syndra was already dead from being picked off, and Rakan, I don't think he was in the fight because he's not missing any health. So 2 alive for UJ. Well, 3 alive for UJ. Voli's going to heal in Fountain right now. Morg's recalling. Oh, we got Ornn pinging for Dragon in a minute 30. So both teams are going to want to... Everyone's going to be alive for Dragon, and this could be one of the deciding factors. It very well could be. If UJ wins this fight here, I think they might get the gold lead. If they win, then they get the Dragon, and that puts both at 3 apiece. If our opponents win the fight, that's Soul, and they get an even bigger lead. So this Dragon in a minute is pretty crucial. Let's hope that nobody gets picked off for UJ before they have to go fight at Drag.
Insanum, I'm looking at you. You're the inter.
Oh no, I'm not calling out anybody like that.
Oh, I'm calling him out. I know 4 out of the 5 of these people personally. So I'm totally willing to take shots at people. And I mean, I guess I've also met Deranged Dad, but I'm not.
Oh, I've never met him. At least I don't think I met him. Oh no. Dude, if you...
What did I say?
Dude,
what did I say?
Gambling. Should have been gambling your money, dude. These betting odds.
The Lux goes down,
we'll see. I mean, that's just a fight, though. We'll see if we turn this around here. There's a Gwen stopwatch. Voli might get the kill. Oh.
Nope.
Now the question is, it looks like they want to go for Baron. They don't want to try to push towers. They want to secure this Baron.
Because, I mean, at that point, the minions kind of push towers for you.
Right. My question is, can they do Baron and then get down to Dragon in time to secure Soul? Or will they have to recall or give Drag? I don't know. What are... Death timers look long enough that they probably can get Dragon too. They should get Soul off of this. You know what the trouble's going to be? Orange just upgraded another. That's what he's doing. When he's sitting there pounding his hammer like that, he's upgrading items
Oh,
for
okay.
his teammates. Either for himself or his teammates. But it'll be interesting to see when they get Soul and they recall with a, 7K gold lead? How much harder that's going to be.
They just
That's
finished too
Soul.
fast.
Yep. They go in and try to steal it anyways. My grievance with this, unless you're the jungler or some character that has ability close to smite, you're not gonna outsmite the jungler.
No, and
You're going in there, and not only are they getting soul, but they just killed 2 of you. And now you have this issue where in the league, people that play League of the Community, they would talk about it's called staggered death timers.
Yep.
And this issue where like we can't all be up and alive at the same time because you died 30 seconds ago, and then you died 45 seconds ago, and you died 15 seconds ago, so we're never all alive at the same time, and we can't be a full team
And
together.
it looks like Embry-Riddle is just going to end off of this.
So right now we only have 1 person alive for UJ, and I think this will be the end of it. We got staggered death timers because we're not fighting, we're dying, whatever for that matter, as a team. And it's difficult to take them on 5 people when you only have 1, 2, or 3 people alive now. So I'm interested to know, the burden is on UJ to see what can they do for bans and for playstyle to not be in this situation come next game.
Well, it was just people getting caught out, right? So I don't know if there's necessarily any pick bans that could change that. It just has to be more warding, more cautiousness.
Right, because kind of what you were saying but not saying, so to speak, is like you said it's just getting picked out, but like as opposed to, I think their UJ's laning phase was good. Like It's not like they were losing in laning phase.
No.
Top lane got first blood.
Yeah.
Mid lane, I don't think they were really killing each other at all.
No.
Bot lane was surviving ganks too, like and not getting caught out by Zen. So the laning phase, first 5, 10, whatever minutes of the game was okay, but then all of a sudden when we start walking around in the jungle and trying to do some stuff outside of laning phase, that's where we were struggling. So. Which I think is more of a macro play than a micro play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's not that, oh, you don't know how to play your champ. That's not the issue. It's, where should you be right now?
Yeah.
What should you be doing right now?
And then that also goes back to the point of why is a plat average team in our silver gold average bracket?
Right. And when they have those kind of items, and they have soul, and they have the levels, how do you even win that now as a 5v5? You're just, there's too much extra things now on the side of the other team here where you can't win a straight up 5v5 anymore, and that's the end of game 1. It's like that, so I don't know. I really hope, and I know because we saw the other games before that, like UJ is capable of making the adaptations to put themselves in a better position for game 2. We'll see if they can do that though. But
And then I'll message him and
it's too bad he couldn't look at the end game stats. But
yeah.
it's the way it is, the way that it goes.
It'd be like that. Forgot his status, bronze behemoth.
Game lobby's full unlucky. I don't know if it's bugged. They might just not have a slot. They need to move their people around so to make room for you. Yeah, there you go.
Alright, should be good to go. Put it back there. Forhead's mom, yep. We are also hoping for a better game too. And it UJ lost, and it was super decisive at the end because of lots of little things, but I don't know that there was necessarily one big thing that ever went wrong. Like most of the team fights that UJ lost weren't like UJ just getting blown up, right?
Yeah.
It was UJ losing 1 or UJ losing 2 and then sometimes continuing the fight, which made it worse.
Right.
But-
I would agree with what you were going there. It's not one singular moment that you could say, oh yeah, at the 27-minute mark they did this thing and it cost them the entire game.
Yeah,
No, it was what I think is a compounding of the same mistake happening multiple times in the same game. Two things that I said, well, you could break it down to smaller things, but two major things. One is, and this has to do with warding, like we're caught out of position and we're getting picked off like 3v1 or 4v1 and we die, and then all of a sudden our team's stuck in a 4v5. Well, why is that happening? Well, maybe your vision isn't very good, or you're not looking at your radar. Maybe you had the wards down, but you're not paying attention to your radar. Like, oh yeah, there's 4 or 5 people missing on the enemy team. I wonder where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is too is that other than someone getting picked off, then if the team's losing a fight, it might be better to try to make a trade on another part of the map rather than showing up late, rotating late after you've already lost all your people.
Mm-hmm.
And that one though is a little bit more results based, because if you rotate late and you clean everything up, then yeah, it was the right thing to do. But if you rotate late and you just add on to the inting or add on to the deaths, then then it ain't worth it. So I understand that one's a little bit more results based, but the one that isn't results based, it's always the right answer all the time. It's got to have better vision, and you got to make sure that you're in a position where you can succeed and not put your team at a disadvantage because now we're down 4v5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and granted, that could just be something for the team to work out too. I don't know that it's specifically like, oh, this person got tilted at this instance, and then they started inting, and the team lost because people were playing overly aggressive or something like that. I think it's more just.
I think it's something that everyone could work on. Maybe
Yeah.
you could have some people that might have that issue a little bit more than others, but it's probably a team
Yeah.
difference. And
Yeah.
that's the same thing with the vision too. Some people think it's just a support thing. The support is the one that deals the most with vision, but they cannot be the only person dealing with vision. They might have the biggest role or impact on it, but all members of the team contribute to either placing wards or removing them. So it's a team effort to make sure that you got vision on the map, for sure. And deny the opponent's vision, of course.
Yeah, I suppose.
Might be into a pro draft right now. Is that what's going on here? They didn't put any links in chat
No.
if that's what they were doing.
So-
Might just be taking a break.
Yep.
But, yeah, there was a lot of positives and stuff, though, because we did see fights in that game where, like, they knew how to play their champs. That wasn't an issue. Like, they were landing abilities. They were winning some of those fights there. And but it's the plays that were in between the team fights. And the thing that I have alluded to earlier is, like, when you give up 1 drag, 2 drag, it's like in that exact moment, you don't know if it matters then. You'll find out if it matters 10 minutes later. Because you can give up drags early and win games, and it's not a big deal as long as you're doing something else in the other part of the field.
Yep.
Or do something later.
But if it's not happening,
no, if you don't
then
make
it's
any,
just straight up you lost a drag, and now you're in a worse spot.
and you don't feel it at the moment, you immediately lose it. Like, okay, they get a couple hundred gold, but like, what's that, a boot? But then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, oh, now they have soul. Oh, now instead of just plus 8%, you have plus 20%, whatever the dragon was that they're doing, because they got soul and plus all these other dragons. So, I don't know. It compounds. So the first time, second time, you're not feeling it. You'll feel it 10 minutes later if you keep letting that sort of thing happen. So what I'm curious to see, though, other than a change in the macro play, change in the play style, and change some of those other things, what I'm curious to see is picks and bans on UJ's part. The burden is on the losing team to change their bans and to change their picks so that they can win, because the other team, they're like, well, this is what they wanted and they lost, so what do we have to do to change? It's UJ's job to force a change here.
Was there anyone on Embry-Riddle, though, that... I don't think there was anyone that especially carried. I can't think of one person that was a nuisance, really.
For me, I think... Well, I don't know if this is more of a champion issue or if it's still a vision issue, is getting binded by Lux as many times as we did, and then dying to that. I don't know if we're getting binded because we don't see her and it's a vision problem, or if it's just we can't dodge We know she's there. We watch her throw it, and we still can't dodge or react fast enough. So maybe it's a Lux issue. It could just be a vision issue. I can tell you one thing that isn't a vision issue. It's just straight up the champ. Is that once Jinx gets one takedown, she's getting wild. She was 9-1 at one point in that game.
Yeah.
We don't see the end game stats here, but Jinx is all 80 carries in the name, but that's a hyper carry. She is. She's not the only one, and I don't know if it's worth banning, but.
She was doing so much damage.
It's tough to say. Maybe all 80 carries would have been 9-1 in that scenario, but I don't know if it's a CC coming out of Morgana and Lux and Orin, the trio of it. There's just too much CC in it, or if it's that Jinx did all the damage and Lux did a lot of damage too. But I don't know. We'll see what UJ thinks. We'll know what they think when they do the bans. And they say we're gonna get rid of Lux or we're gonna get rid of Jinx. I don't know. But.
It looks like they were doing a pro draft. Maybe they just reused the same link.
They very well could have. Well, we'll find out right here. The picks and bans might not be in the same order, but that's the old one.
Yeah, that is the old one. So
one.
I don't know then. Maybe they just threw it down before we got in the lobby too.
Yeah. Well, on the League client, we'll see right now what they decided to go with.
What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, so Set Jinx banned by our team again, and we banned those last game too. They're banning Camille again.
Well, we didn't ban Jinx last game.
Oh, sorry, not Jinx. Yes. Who did we ban? I thought it was someone like Jinx.
I don't know.
Can't remember. They're keeping their same bans. It looks like.
Yep. So just banning out Run It Down mid is what it's still looking like.
So the only one that's different for us in the beginning here now is they say Jinx. They say it's the hyper carry that was the issue. It wasn't the nonstop CC from Morgan Lux. And to be honest, I can kind of agree with them. If you have vision, you have enough movement speed, reaction time, you can get around playing against Morgan and Lux. You just got to dodge the bindings. So.
Big fat turkey on Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, he's not doing Orin this time. Orin wasn't even banned, but he says, I don't care. I can play Mundo. My guess, Mundo top, or jungle for Jarvan. And it looks like we're taking the Lee Sin this time. Fiora.
You mean Jin Zhao?
Or sorry, not Lee Sin. Yeah, Xin Zhao. Galio mid, so that's a bit different. You go from playing big damage mage like Syndra to playing the tanky team fighter that likes to fly around the map. Alt top, alt bot. But you know what's interesting? Their counterplay there though is they pick Twisted Fate, who has almost the same sort of ability and presence that Galio does. Both of these champions in the mid lane can telly to top or bot with their ultimate. So.
And I do know that Too Spoiled does enjoy playing his Galio. It's one of his most played champs.
See if I care.
So, I mean, him being on a comfort pick, I'm happy to see.
Oh, they're playing one of the newest champions in League of Legends. Not the brand new one. She's not legal for this patch. Glask or Renata, but the next most newest, Zeri. Which, have you seen Arcane?
I've not.
The League show?
Nope.
So the League show, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it takes place lore-wise in the cities of Piltover and Zon.
Okay.
And the last two champions that have been released, Renata, Glassic, and Zeri, both come from either Piltover or Zon. I think they're both out of Zon. And my theory is they want more characters for Arcane Season 2, so that's why the new champions are coming from those areas.
That would make sense.
But
that'd be funny.
It looks like we have the Lux this time and the Xin Zhao this time. We got Caitlyn.
How much CC is on Embry-Riddle? I'm not familiar with a lot of
they got a slow from Mundo.
Yeah.
They got a knock up and like a cage ultimate from Jarvan. It's a small one.
Okay.
A stun or a slow from Twisted Fate. Zeri has a slow, and Morg has got that snare and that ultimate snare again. So
still a lot of CC, and Mundo is more brawly, correct? He's tanky, but he'll also do damage.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, probably not early game unless you get hit by the meat cleaver. That's a skill shot he throws at people. But if he lands the Q, then sure. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't think Mundo does a ton of damage, but he's pretty unkillable. That's the one thing. See, now we have the 3-minute on there that we maybe didn't have last time. See that? Because
Yep.
it's counting down. I think last time it just kind of threw us in there, but
Yeah, it might have. I think we got like 20 seconds in, and then it just threw us in. Also, Embry-Riddle banning Malphite again. Odd. And then banning Lulu.
I think Lulu. Personally, I think Lulu and Morgana are two of the most annoying supports to play against.
Yeah.
So
Forehead on Caitlyn, one of his favorite champs. So yeah, we're just seeing a lot of comfort picks, which is good. I don't know how much Deranged Dad plays Jin Zhao, but
No.
I think he plays Jin Zhao quite a bit. Run it down mid on the Fiora. Too swell. Like yeah, everyone is on a champ that they just enjoy playing, which is good.
right.
Um,
Especially in the elos that you're in, it's like we talk about like what's meta, what's the best right now. But honestly, unless
Meta
you're
doesn't
playing at the
matter.
highest level,
yeah.
it's if you're playing a champion that is lower on the tier list, but you're really good at that champ and you have hundreds, if not whatever, 1,000 games on them,
Mhm.
like you can beat your counters and you can beat the people that are higher
Oh,
on the
yeah.
tier list than you, just because you have such a familiarity with that champion. So I wouldn't say always, but I would favor more for in most scenarios. I would say if I had the choice between picking someone that's like really low on the tier list but they're really good at the champion versus like someone playing someone that's like god tier but they don't have that much experience on the champ, I'd rather you play a lower tier but you're really experienced with them.
Yeah, because they're still going to have way more impact, even though the champ is less good.
Right. But yeah, I've seen Forehead play. I've played Forehead's Caitlyn. I played with Run It Down Mid's Fiora. I know. Seen them win games easily.
Yeah.
On those, they're very capable of doing it, of getting her done here. So, we'll see if that can happen. I didn't get to play as much. I only got one season with T-Spelled and Insana, but it was fun when I got to do it. So, yeah, I guess I was lucky enough when I was here that I got to play with a few different people. Remember when we had our Korean foreign exchange student? That was fun. And
What's
I can't remember his in-game persona.
Delicious Game.
Yeah, and then I got to play with Molly Holly Jolly back in the day. I enjoyed that. So, but yeah, I had a great opportunity to play with a lot of these guys, and it was a lot of fun. And we'll see if we load in here.
Man, I hope so. So, what do you think about the lane matchups? Was there anything that really stood out to you
In the previous game?
in this one?
Oh, in this one.
Yeah.
I think unless the junglers get involved, mid lane's probably going to be another Snortfest. These are two champions in Twisted Fate and Galio, which they don't make their living off of beating each other up or anyone they play against. Their bread and butter, Galio and Twisted Fate, is the impact they can make on the other lanes. TF, I'm going to alt top or bot. Galio mid, I'm going to alt top or bot. These are two mid lane champions that really want to just impact the other lanes. So I think the fighting is going to be all in bot or top lane because that's where all the champions are going to move to. When Dragon's up, we're definitely going to see stuff going down in the bot lane. When Dragon's not up, probably more top lane focused.
Okay.
So, but are we going to have to...
I don't know. Well, I'm just going to give it a minute. And if a minute doesn't work, then I'll reset.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, League Spec just
doesn't
hates
like
us. But only when we're streaming, apparently.
Oh, because when they did it earlier.
It worked fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
Yep, it's looking like it's not going to be working, so I will remedy that real quick.
My guess is that if this was never an issue before, it's got to be a patch that Riot did that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They do some coding, and all of a sudden, we accidentally messed this up.
Yep. Spec game, and we should get back in just fine. Still
Yeah.
won't be able to look at the end game stats, which sucks a little bit, but we should have spec just fine.
We got a lot of skins coming out of both teams. In fact, I think it was Xin Zhao was the only one that didn't have a skin.
So we're expecting blue, not red.
Oh, but
Log off.
okay, yeah.
And oh, and we're off.
What's off? It says there.
Hmm?
It says be right back.
No. That's different. That's different.
Okay.
Here, I'm also going to do that and hide scoreboard. All right. Yeah, everything looks fine.
Swap scoreboard. Click use blue. Okay.
Yeah, I got that already. I'm trying to be on top of things as
So
best I
let's
can.
see here. We got Dorn's item out of Galio in the mid lane, and Twisted Fate's got Corrupting Pod. So Corrupting Pod is typically a little bit more sustain, and Dorn's Ring is going to go for a little bit more damage and some mana regen. Oh, I think Galio just wanted to dance, and TF's
Yeah,
like, no, I'm
rude.
gonna throw a couple cards in your face for dancing in front of me.
Unsportsmanlike. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's weird, champ.
That is absolutely weird, champ.
We got a red buff start. Oh, that was another thing I was going to mention too. Both teams took junglers who are known for being kind of early or aggro in the early game, a little aggressive in the early game. So it'll be interesting to know. It looks like Jarvan's going to do Raptors. I was wondering if Jarvan would just go for a 3-cramp clear buff Gromp into a gank, or if you do a level 2 gank mid. But it looks like Jarvan's going to take out Raptors. Mundo's pinging is ping at 79. That's not that high. I mean, I think around here in North Dakota, we normally have pings around anywhere from 40 to 60 something.
Yeah.
When I'm back in Minnesota, I could get my ping between like 23 to 28.
That's really good.
Yeah, if I was in Chicago, it'd be even lower. But
I mean, 80 isn't great. I don't know exactly how much ping impacts League. And I mean, there's definitely millisecond stuff where it can matter.
right,
But
it
some
impacts
games
it, but
it's
some
worse
more than others. And sometimes it depends on what champion you're playing.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, like in Valorant, I know a 20 ping difference is ridiculous, but in Overwatch, a 20 ping difference matters very little.
Mm. Well, you know, the thing about might be though is, and I think in Overwatch, like, people take a lot more damage before they die. But in Valorant, you could be dead in a second.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you can't afford to give up a couple shots before you
Yes,
can react.
exactly.
So
It all
here's
depends on
Zen
how
on an early
explosive
gank.
the game is. Big dive from the range dad.
Oh, they had to flash the snare, but yeah, they forced 2 flashes off of that.
Which is not insignificant.
So Zin went. I'm trying to look at the map here and understand this. I think Zin went. He went buff, Gromp, Raptors into a gank. Now he's reverse clearing back through, starting at his Krugs, heading to red buff. It's interesting pathing from the jungler, but considering how much he got the other team to spend, probably worth it. You know what those cards mean when they circle around TF like that? Means his next auto attack will do bonus damage, magic damage.
Is it like a proportion?
Every 4th auto attack, you'll get those cards that spin around.
Well, yeah, like how much bonus damage?
It probably scales with how much AP he has in his build.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
Morgana cleared the ward, which is good. Good for her, not good for us. And it seems like that's been an incentive from the early game to the late game for the other team, is like vision control. So TF lands a stun on Galio, but Galio didn't. I don't know. He took a little bit of damage, not a lot, but
No, not much more than Fate did, but
the issue with TF though is that those 3 cards, yellow's a stun, red's a slow, but blue will give him mana back. So TF can kind of blow as much mana as he wants to, because as long as he keeps blue carding, he'll get it back.
ooh, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that I don't like about League is mana, and I understand why it exists. Like, it definitely is needed, but I just hate it when I run out of mana and I'm like, oh, Time to recall, I guess.
Yeah, mana management is definitely a crucial part of the game. So for me, I've played this game long enough where I actually get irritated at champions that don't have to use it because I think it's OP compared to the ones that do.
Yeah.
It's like you can be so careless with how you use it so that, I don't know, you just have so much more freedom, it seems like, when you don't have to worry about that.
Oh. We got out. We got out. That's all that matters.
Yeah. See, like Mundo, this guy... So for people who don't use mana, typically they use some other resource. Mundo often spends his health to use a lot of his abilities.
Oh.
Not a lot of champions do that. Vladimir does that. Mundo does that. But there's a few champions that they sack their own health in order to do their abilities.
Interesting.
So,
that's really cool.
Yeah. Mundo has one move, his cleaver there, where it immediately upon casting the ability, it'll take a chunk off of his health. But he has another move which takes health over time. It's like you're doing DOT to yourself.
Oh.
So you turn it on, and while you have it on, you're taking DOT, and then when it's off, it's off. I mean, unless they change that move. They reworked Mundo not that long ago, and I don't know if I know all of Mundo's new kit, but that used to be an old abilities kit. It might not be anymore because they reworked them. But
yeah. And Embry-Riddle did pick up the first drag of the game.
Was it uncontested?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see. Jarvan's going in on Galio, but he's pretty low. Is he going to get out? Oh, my.
Not a chance.
That was a very interesting attempt to engage like that when you were so low health.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it wasn't like he was, 2/3 health either and thought, I can probably win this. He was very unhealthy. He was like eating McDonald's 3 times a day for 5 years, kind of unhealthy.
I know that he thinks that Galio's a tank and might not do any damage, but he was enough to kill him with his health.
I mean, it doesn't matter how little damage he does if you're, a quarter health. Oh, just getting blown up.
Twisted Fate ulted down there to try to salvage that, but he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he almost died along with his teammates.
I think these guys, both in the mid lane play and the bot lane play, almost sort of overestimated how much TF can actually make a difference, because maybe when Jarvan engaged there in mid, he thought like, oh, it's okay if I only have 300 health, like TF's gonna blow him up. Maybe not. Maybe TF doesn't do as much damage as he thought.
It definitely
and then,
did not.
Right after that, TF ult spot. What does he do? Well, I guess he gets to watch those people die up close, because he didn't really make an impact there either.
Below average saying not just Evan casting. Still not sure who this Evan guy is, but I, Clicky, do have a co-caster this time, and it's great.
Yeah, the old alumni, Dear XP, is back. I'm not playing this time. I get an opportunity to take a break, which is awesome to see some old faces and some new faces. Get a chance to do this. So, but it's fun to watch and talk about, I suppose. That's a new ability that Mundo got after his rework, is that sort of electrical pulsing that comes around him. It's Papercraft Mundo, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Mundo.
Finally, a competent caster.
Yeah, I'm very competent, just not in terms of the game.
Listen to this,
or running a stream or talking.
Finally, a competent viewer.
I don't know. Below average definitely doesn't play League.
Does he not?
Does UJ get out scot-free?
Oh, look at that. I think she dies. There we go. That was lucky for them that they were able to turn that around, because prior to that, they were 3-0 until that exchange. UJ was holding on for a long time without anyone dying there, compared to last game. 9 minutes before they lost someone. So
4 members of Embry-Riddle had to be down there in bot to secure 1 kill on UJ's support. Not worth it. Not worth it.
We'll have to see. I know they'll take some goals better than no goal, but we'll see how that ends up going.
I mean, sure, yeah. It just felt like, it felt like they sent an army to take over Ukraine. You feel me?
What are you, sort of
predicting
Nostradamus type stuff here? What is going to happen with...
Oh, have you not been
I know
up
the
with the
current
news?
events in Putin.
Okay, yeah.
Yo, I don't get into politics on an esports stream, but I've also heard that Canada's got some stuff going on too.
Yeah.
Was a new one as well. I kind of want to catch up on that, but
Embry-Riddle getting blown up yet
Oh.
again. You drop
Alright.
6 kills to 1, 2K gold.
no, this is awesome. This is so much different from
Yeah.
the first game.
So, I think what happened, I don't want to discount Eugenie, but I think Embry-Riddle got incredibly cocky. Like, very, very cocky. Because they're taking fights that they shouldn't be. And I suppose they're thinking, yeah, we can probably win this. And they just don't. Like, the one dude that engaged on, like, a quarter health.
Yeah, the jungler.
Yeah. That has to just be straight up overconfidence. That can't be critical thinking saying,
Well,
yeah, I can probably win this.
I guess I don't know the psyche of every player on the other team, but they
I do.
don't seem like the same team that was
No.
doing this in the early game.
No,
last
not at
game.
all.
So, whether it be the fault of the enemy team or our team just rising to the occasion, like either one, I'll take it.
Mhm.
You know, I hope that we would say it's more us winning than them losing, but yeah, it's good to see that we're in a 6-1 scenario though,
Yeah,
as opposed to what we were
absolutely.
doing yesterday. And I won't even acknowledge the fact that, you know, when they had that pit in the Baron pit, one of our players flashed into the wall and like headbutted the wall, and then
Yeah.
both teams question mark pinged it. But I won't bring that to anyone's attention. I
Happens.
can't remember which one of our teammates headbutted their wall in the flash.
It
but
be like that.
yeah. That's interesting too. Oh, Jarvan's going in. So if he kills Zin, Zin can't smite drag. Oh no.
Oh,
Edge there.
everyone taking lots of damage.
Well, this is good for UJ though. Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Oh,
wait a
maybe
minute.
not. Okay, so 2 spoiled.
The dragon's still alive hitting people. Moore's gonna die to drag. Look at this. This
And-
is so good for
Oh,
UJ.
I mean, such a scuffed fight.
It was
but-
really weird. Yeah.
But UJ got out of there, and we claimed drag.
It's like in that fight, it started like kind of everyone is together, and then it devolved into there's like 3 little fights
It's
going
like
around.
1v2,
Yeah.
2v1,
Yeah.
1v1.
We have Galio chasing like one person on one part of the map, and then one person's 1v1ing in Dragon Pit, and then some other people are fighting in the river.
and
I
like,
don't know.
the 2 spoiled. I like that it was Galio of all people chasing, because it was just
Right.
like them being at the exact same speed, running behind and in front of one another for like 10 seconds. Just the tension, you could cut it with a spork.
Right. What do they drop in the playbook? It's normally like, all right, let's all focus our attention. We'll kill this person, then move to him, then move to him. But instead, no, let's each take our own 1v1, our own karate death match.
We
So-
win our ones, guys.
Yeah.
We just win our ones, and then it turned out that they did win their ones.
It's like an episode from Cobra Kai. Don't demonetize us for shout out to Netflix, but each kid is gonna take their own 1v1 against a player from the other dojo.
Is Cobra
So-
Kai on Netflix now? I thought it was on YouTube.
Oh, the first season or 2 was on YouTube, but now it's all been on Netflix.
Okay.
Season 4 is out.
Oh, so much damage on Defy Guy.
Twisted. Oh, preemptive flash to get the Twisted Fate. There's gold card, but it ain't gonna matter. He'll catch up. This is the end. Yep.
UJ up 5,500 gold.
Yep.
UJ up 10 kills,
Yep.
even in drag.
Yep.
UJ probably getting to shove. Maybe not getting to shove a tower, but UJ getting all the wards they could ever want and more. Aside from being up as much as they are, excuse me.
No, they've been doing almost everything right
Yeah.
so far.
No,
UJ.
this
So
no. So I think Embry-Riddle is playing more poorly than they did last game. But UJ, I don't know exactly what they did, but they're just like not making mistakes. They're just playing so much better. And the more we're watching, the more we're seeing that yeah, it's definitely UJ making these changes.
right.
I don't even know if it's champ difference. It's kind of just macro play difference.
I think so. I'm not seeing like any weird mechanical like, wow, we did something on this champion I've never seen anyone do before. That's
Yeah,
not really the
no,
issue.
yeah.
It's that you're in the right place at the right time, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And because of that, we have 3 people that haven't died on our team, but everyone's positive KD. Got takedowns, getting assists. Everyone's getting assists, not just solo kills, and it's looking good because those assists and stuff matter, particularly for your runes. They might say, I need you to have this many assists or takedowns in order to be max stats on your runes, so that stuff adds up. For sure.
One thing that UJ hasn't done this game is get cut out.
At least not that I remember seeing.
No, UJ just hasn't been caught out. Like last game, it was a lot of one people, two people, and some red people and some fewer blue people getting caught out, and it ended up going in Embry-Riddle's favor. But that's not happening this game.
Right.
Now it's still red people getting caught out, even though it's the opposite team.
Yep. Maybe it's just a color diff.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe.
I don't want to make this Crips versus the Bloods, but
but I mean,
been doing better.
Crip walking kind of swaggy.
Yeah. Also, before you were going on there, Jarvan kind of just cleared a little bit of boards, but when you were talking about it, there was a big vision difference when I counted earlier. We had like 8 wards out on the field to the other team's like 3. Now it's changed a little bit now because they just did some vision clearing and some stuff. But earlier when you were talking, it was like UJ 8 wards, the other team's 3. That makes a difference too.
Yeah, so now UJ is up by 2 towers, and we just claimed Baron. That seems good, right? That seems.
Oh yeah.
That seems not bad.
It wasn't Baron, it was Rift though.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Baron
I'm
won't
sorry.
spawn until the 20-minute mark, but
Yep.
we got a drag coming up in less than a minute. 15-20 seconds or so. We'll get our 3rd drag that spawns. See, this is what the enemy team want to do is like, we want to secure dragon. We need to pick one of them off early. And Xin Zhao, yeah, he's a little out of position, but he flashes to safety. So he's going to stay alive for the drag fight, even though he burned Flash.
But Flash, definitely way less impactful mid-team fight.
Right.
Than it is going to be, getting out of that gank that he was in.
You can't lose your jungler, though. Like, you need Smite for the dragons, so...
Yeah.
I mean, we just lost Lux there to the Morgana binding, and we flashed because of the positioning there.
So UJ is going to be losing Infernal Drag, which is unfortunate.
2 deaths and a dragon unless we steal it from I don't know what.
No,
but
I don't see any feasible way for UJ to steal it.
I think they're just going to give. It looks like they're each doing their own thing now.
Yep.
Fiora didn't even come down either. She stayed top. But, I mean, Lux got hit by the binding, and then Orin dies off of the mispositioning. So, one thing that I noticed both in that play and from last game is, like, we have this issue where when one person gets caught out, then someone shows up late just to get caught out with them.
Yep.
It's like, if something negative happens, don't compound the negative issue with someone repeating the same mistake or showing up late when you're already down people. Just let that only be the one negative flaw and like, okay, that sucks, but we're not going to add on to the deficit. We're going to just move on. So, I don't know. We're still ahead. It's just a minor slip up there that cost us 2 drags and a kill, but...
Well, 1 dragon a kill.
Sorry, 1 dragon. 1 dragon, 2 kills. That's what I meant.
Yep.
Said that backwards, but... Looks like we could capitalize here, though. Mort took that ult.
That connects even when she's airborne?
Yeah, airborne won't dodge it.
I mean,
Like if you're
that,
still in the
that
rainbow.
makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but just from like a pure logic perspective, that makes absolutely no sense.
Dude, how did you dodge my rainbow laser by jumping?
Yeah, you weren't above it. But yeah, it makes sense from a gameplay perspective that knockups are basically just stuns.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of... There's no, like, vertical element to this game as
No.
far as I know of.
Yeah.
Like, some of the characters can, like, fly over walls, I guess, but...
But, I mean, it's...
Like Aurelion Sol.
Yeah, it's more or less just him going through walls than over walls.
Oh, we got a turret off of that, Rift. Looks like the bot laners are trying to collapse. Twisted Fate comes in with gold card to stun Xin. So this is some weird positioning by Xin. Zin's gonna die here. No, he might get away. Fiora TP'd in. Look at that. Lux Laser.
Ooh.
Looks like UJ
Almost
turns this
connecting.
around.
There's how?
They
UJ was
rotated
down
quick
by
enough.
2 people.
But they had the Fiora teleport and Galio, I think, maybe ulted in. But, yeah, they were able to rotate enough to collapse on that.
That's wild.
Which was good. Twisted Fate barely got out. I thought he
Yeah.
was going to die, but he barely makes it out. The issue with the Twisted Fate ultimate for the other team, though, is that he went behind the enemy champions where they're trying to run to in the first place. He needs to teleport almost right on top of them to get them to stay where they are so their team can catch up. But it was a goofy ult by TF. Not that the ult wasn't wrong, it was the placement that was a little weird.
And the little cage that they were in, what's the dude's name that makes that? They're
Jarvan's cage? Or whose?
the round.
Yeah, the
cage
round
thing,
rock.
that's Jarvan's.
Brown rock, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the Jarvan's
okay.
ultimate. Yep.
Yeah, that was a big ult from Jarvan. Like that easily secured Embry-Riddle the kills there.
I mean, Jarvan's 0-5, Morgana's 0-5, Mundo's 0-1. Jarvan's got 5 assists, though, to his name. But we're seeing a big difference between top and bot, or top and jungle right now this game for sure. And even our supports are quite a bit different. Ours is doing significantly better. The only, tip of the hat that I can say really in terms of one of those matchouts I just called is I guess Mundo has like a 50 CS lead on Fiora, but he doesn't have near the KP impact.
No.
Fiora 3 kills, 4 assists to Mundo's 0 kills and an assist. So. Zeri came out pretty powerful on release, and she's been nerfed since then. That's the new champion with the lime green hair.
Yeah, okay.
They had an issue where, well, I don't know if that's the thing that they nerfed, but
What's that?
Zeri theoretically could get like infinite amount of movement speed.
So you guys couldn't see it, but I was pogging there at that ult because that was a pretty good ult.
The Lux ult.
That was kind of nasty. Okay, but continue.
Oh, that's pretty much it.
Oh, an infinite amount of move speed.
Yeah, during her ultimate, as long as she keeps doing damage, she slowly increases her movement speed until she quits doing damage to people. So as long as she can find something to keep doing damage, she can keep increasing her movement speed until either she dies or she quits doing damage.
That's really funny, actually.
Galio's having a heck of a time trying to get away from Mundo.
Yeah.
I think this might be a waste of zoning. Oh, no, maybe not.
Oh, the mind games.
Never mind. I guess it's worth it. Or does Baron kill him? No, I guess he's going to get out.
Oh, because you have to damage Baron for Baron to start attacking you.
Mundo
right?
could have thrown a cleaver at Baron to aggro.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I don't know if Mundo did
That's
or not.
big brain.
Well, it looks like Galio lived, and I don't know if they're just trying to chill until Zin's doing Dragon right now.
Baron does a fair amount of damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, particularly if you're a squishier champion, it's going to do a lot more. Tanks can probably shrug it off.
Yeah.
Carries will take more damage for sure.
UJ claims second Infernal Drag of the game.
Yeah, we're tied up 2 for 2 on Drags.
Up 4-1 in towers. Up like what, 6k gold in gold. Up. You feel.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm
Gold
good
and
at my
gold.
job.
Let's see, both teams are doing a lot to try to fix the vision issues. I just see nonstop placing wards, clearing wards, which is how the game kind of is played. It's a struggle for map control. 25 minutes into the game, those death timers will get a bit longer. It's not like the early game where, oh, I died, I'll be back up in less than 10 seconds or whatever. Now it's death puts you out of the game for a while, and it's going to be that way for the rest of the game. So,
And do you know how death timers scale? Like, is it linear, or are there certain points where they increase, or is it they increase a little and then it hits a point and then they increase a lot?
I'm going to be honest, I used to know this information. Now, I don't know if it's relevant to what time it is in the game or if it's relevant to what your level is. It might be both or it might be just one.
Okay.
Because if you're like really high level, then you might have longer death timers compared to someone that's like, I don't know, level 3 or something.
Yeah.
But it might just be the time, though. It might say, you know, you're 24 minutes in, this is your death timer at 24 minutes.
With the Lux ult, a little unfortunate, but Fi Guy does have to back, and basically all of Embry-Riddle just can't afford to fight now. Run it down mid, taking the base tower there. That's a big deal.
It is, because then...
Inhib is just open.
Right. Once you get inhib, I think that's what makes... Oh, see, now we have 4v1 engage here. Which, it's worth if you trade for Baron. We'll see if Zeri steals here. Twisted Fate all just giving vision for the other team on Baron.
Ooh, but they found her.
Yeah.
And she
with the
should
TP's
die.
coming in. Oh, no. Twisted Fate ulted. One person teleported in. They sent a lot of resources to stop that Baron take.
Mundo's chunking pretty hard.
Yeah. Xin Zhao's going to get the kill there.
Baron's still up.
Yeah,
Has
UJ.
a big ult, but not quite able to follow up with anything.
The thing about that play, though, is if the other team doesn't have that Twisted Fate ult, or like if they were playing a different champion, or if they didn't have TP, like that's worth it. It's worth run it down mid, dying in a 1v4 bot lane if you can get a free Baron off of that.
Yeah, but him dying and then UJ loses
all
Baron.
those people, Baron and all those champions,
Yeah.
because they had the sums, they had the ultimate against a different team with different sums. That's probably worth it in this scenario. Maybe you say it's result based. Well, it didn't work out for us this time to do that kind of a play.
Yeah.
So
That's really rough.
now we only have a 2.5k gold lead. Kills are still up quite a bit, and we're tied in drags, but we're gonna have to make sure that we have a good fight in drag in a few minutes when that happens.
Yeah, and to be entirely honest, if UJ wins a team fight at drag, like, and it's convincing enough, they very possibly could just end. They could just ignore drag, push bot far out, base tower is gone, so they just take inhib and then end.
Depending on the health of your tank,
Yeah.
like you could skip the minion wave, say we don't need a minion wave, we'll just have Galio tank it and let our damage dealers do the damage.
Yeah.
To take it's feasible.
Like, they definitely could end if this ends up being good, but not if people are getting caught out.
it's tough to play safe when there's a TF, because
Yeah.
he's going to put the ult up. He gets to see all your players, the enemy team. It says, yeah, you're the one that's all by yourself. I'm going to ult to you. Kind of like a Nocturne, but a little bit different.
And so now UJ has lost both of its mid turrets, but there is still the base turret. So odds are that if something does go south, at least Embry-Riddle won't be able to end immediately.
Well, 3 people from the red team just recalled to get items before Dragon spawn. Dragon's probably going to spawn in near next 30 seconds. We just got Lux back. Everyone's going to be alive for Dragon. This should be, unless someone gets picked off by something dumb on either team, this should be an even 5v5 fight for this third Dragon for either team.
So people just have to not get picked off. UJ players, all of you. The Kate trap's coming down.
Both teams are kind of sizing each up, wondering who's going to make the first major aggressive play. Who's going to commit.
Those Kate traps are visible, right?
Yes, for both teams. No one Oh, they just started drag. Oh, wait, Fiora sneaks around the backside. Galio's ulting on top of Fiora. Lux ult comes in. Jarvan ult. Fiora gets away with 200 health. They kill off one. Xin Zhao's staying in the fight. He survives with ultimate. Caitlyn traded with Zeri. We get the kill there. Zonya's Morg will die off of that, and UJ's going to end up... Oh! Galio's going to chase some work down. We win that fight.
Well, okay, so it started off a little sketchy. The the flank by Run It Down Mid felt a little inty, but it panned out.
I think what Run It Down Mid wanted to do, he's like, I'm going to get behind them, and then Galio, you're going to ult on top of me and protect me. Because Galio's going to bring a shield to whoever he ults to, and I think he was just banking, I just got to survive long enough for Galio to get here and shield me. And he did get out with like 200 health. He ends up flashing away or whatever Fiora did. So, in the end, like, results-based, that worked out really well for that team fight. So, is there a better way for UJ to do that? probably not a lot. That's probably one of the best shots that they had at winning that fight at
Yeah.
Dragon, to be honest, and they went for it. So it's not the safest way, I
No,
would say, but it's probably one of their best shots they had, and they executed the way they needed to do it. So
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me. I'll tell you that much.
if Fiora dies before Galio gets her with ult, I don't think they win that.
No, there is not a chance UJ wins that. But just because she was there, even though she did only have, you know, a few hundred health left, she was still there and able to poke.
She did enough damage and was able to force enough sums and Zonias and things like that
Yep.
they weren't available when the rest of the team was able to
Yep.
follow up.
Exactly.
So, and I think Fiora was trying to burn as much of those spells on her so that they don't have anything to spend on any of the rest of the teammates from UJ. So that was really great that we did that. We secured the third drag. We go up by a little bit more gold, not a lot, but going up by anything is better than going down
Yeah.
by anything. So.
Oh, it's just so tense. I guess it feels a little closer than it actually is. Cause
I think it's close.
well, I'm mainly looking at the tower difference. Cause I mean, granted, mid towers are definitely the most meaningful, but I mean, you just up a drag, up 3 towers, up 2K gold.
I think with no other weird issues with, like, if assuming everything's off cooldown and a straight up 5v5 with no other weird variables, I think UJ right now likely will win that in most scenarios. Like, you know, whatever, 7 out of 10 times.
Sure.
However, it's very easy for one of these teams to find a way to change the numbers. They pick someone off, they do something to turn the fight in their favor. It's the correct skill shot or correct something, and they can turn something around.
Did I just hear the narrator say headshot?
Maybe Caitlyn did. I don't know. She's got a headshot passive.
What?
Caitlyn's passive is, I think, it's called headshot.
What is it? I would assume it's just random crits.
Not exactly random. Caitlyn, I think it's like every 8th auto attack, it's a guaranteed crit, and it's called a headshot because because it's guaranteed. There might be some other, what do you call it, like extra bonus effects to it. I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
But I don't play it. I don't remember enough Caitlyn to know. But yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's what they needed. Like, UJ's taking the fight there in a 5v2. Like, the other team doesn't show up until they're already down 2 players. Morgana might even be dead here. Oh, she maybe gets away.
So, run it down mid, got Jarvan ulted.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's so dead. And then the Lux ult comes in and just everything's dying. And then 2 people on Embry-Riddle fall.
Jarvan did not do enough in the early game to be relevant at this point in the game because Jarvan started like 0-5 or something, and 1-7 Jarvan are ulting our 4-1 Fiora. Like, he's not gonna win that.
Run it down mid, getting dangerously low, but is gonna escape with his life.
They're just trying to zone them off of Baron so they don't get a steal here. But without Smite, I don't think that they're very capable
you
of
have to
stealing
time it so incredibly precisely. And yep, UJ does claim Baron.
As long as our jungler has Smite, that's pretty easy for us to secure against those champions.
So much damage, but UJ, aside from deranged dad,
we lost
and
Lux.
Insanum.
Oh, I think TF could die here, yeah. Oh, he gets out. Oh, there's Jarvan.
Yeah. So not a great fight for UJ.
This is really tough because they get the kills and you lose the Baron buff.
Yep.
On everybody. Yep.
Yeah, so that's more or less just a lost team fight for
Yeah,
UJ.
and they're gonna get a free drag off of that. You overstayed after you get the after you got the Baron. I don't know. I don't know how much earlier you could have left or how much differently you could have played that, but like they're not. They want to push lanes rather than what are death timers on here? They might think they can end the game right here.
They probably can.
They have I don't know. I don't think clearing 2 more towers. No, you can't do
that
it.
was a chunk. Yeah, no,
I think
not
they
now.
just need to get to drag and secure that third drag away from them. I mean, you got the inhibitor there, but
I think before the Lux ult, they could have finished. But that Lux ult did so much damage that there was just no way. And they're definitely getting third drag, which is another infernal drag.
Yeah, Lux doesn't have ult up to try to steal this time,
Yep.
so. Well, they put the gold lead within a K, or a K and a half, but yeah, I think it's a close game.
Yeah.
We got Baron buff on one champion on our team. I think it's Galio.
Which I mean is better than none, but
Yeah. But it could have been on like 4 champions on
Yeah.
our team.
yeah, I don't think UJ could have backed any sooner or played much differently, really. It was just unfortunate.
You'd have to go somewhere and hit recall, because when you have Baron, you have a sped up recall animation.
Oh,
So it's like half the time or something.
yeah.
So I don't know, maybe. Oh, Jarvan's engaging here.
Yeah.
Fiora's teleporting into the fight.
Sam
We got.
having to
Yeah.
pop stopwatch.
Yeah, he's dead.
And you know when
Galio's gonna die.
when you take a 3v5, you're not going to win it.
Morgana dies. Now we're left to 2 champions on our team. Xin Zhao's in the fight. He's focused on Zeri and will go down. This might be the end for UJ.
Yep.
After this fight.
I would argue that it is. I'd be very, very surprised if Embry-Riddle doesn't end off of this, because the death timers are, what, Insanum's at 15 seconds, and
Yeah.
that's the closest one. Otherwise, it's just
Fiora's
running,
live, but I don't know what she can do here. In a
running
1v3.
down mid, trying to
Yeah.
fend off 4 people.
Destroying Jarvan, but I don't know.
It's just not enough.
She's got to stall long enough for Lux to come help, I guess.
Did that not connect with Mundo?
I think it did. He's just healing
He's
that
just
much.
that. Wow.
He's one of his best strengths is his regeneration of health.
Apparently.
So
Oh yeah, he's just tanking
survive that
tower
too.
shots.
He can
Oh,
survive
okay.
another tower if he wants to. I'm sure TP's coming in though. Oh, Caitlyn ult. Okay. Can't regen that.
Nope. Well,
That was lucky for
yep.
UJ.
UJ brought it back.
Dude, they're really lucky both that Fiora's doing this well and that Jarvan's that weak, because Jarvan got destroyed really quickly
Yep.
by Fiora.
Yeah, the death timers are long enough now that UJ can recover somewhat, which is a big deal.
They also run the risk of like someone teleporting or TF just ulting in and trying to backdoor too and just win the game like that. So
Can he ult like onto the word is evading me.
Twisted Fate can literally ult anywhere.
Oh,
his
it
mouse
doesn't have to
clicks.
be on a person.
No, he's one of the few champions that he can pick any spot on the map and just go to it.
Okay.
Galio can only ult his teammates.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like Shen can only ult his teammates. Nocturne can only ult enemies. Pantheon can go wherever he wants.
Okay. Even the enemy fountain and die instantly?
You can ult in the enemy fountain and int.
Woo!
So that's TF and Pantheon. You
Time
sure
to
can.
start playing TF and Pantheon.
Get irritated, I'm just going to run it down. Just
Yeah.
ulting into their fountain and dying. Yeah.
Alright, my teammates suck. Fountain time.
Or you could be really troll and play someone like Pantheon or whatever. Get your Shen to ult you. Be like, Shen, Galio, ult me, protect me. And then you ult in the enemy tower and bring them with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be...
Or bring a Yumi with you to go in.
That'd be very funny.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how well UJ can play now that they lost all their Nexus towers and stuff. They need their inhib to come back.
Do the Nexus towers regen?
No.
Oh, that's bad.
The inhibitors will regen,
Yeah.
but
that's kind of bad. Just a little.
yeah. You got an open Nexus. And that's why they're all hanging around here. They're not...
Yeah,
like, our
'cause-
players aren't even leaving to go into the jungle because they don't want
Yeah.
someone to TP in or ult in and
'cause
just go and win the game.
TF can just straight up win the game for Embry-Riddle now at any point.
And they're sort of in a situation now where you're damned if you do or damned if you don't for this reason. You got Baron and Dragon spawning up pretty soon. It's 4th Drag and it's a Baron. If you don't contest this, you probably lose the game if they have that, unless you win a team fight. However, if you do contest it, now you have an open Nexus that
Yeah,
they can
TF
go
just
to.
ults in and you
So,
lose.
well, the inhib came back, so now they'd have to take the inhib and the Nexus.
Yeah.
Xin Zhao's going to escape barely. Well, maybe not. Zeri just flashed in. Xin Zhao's going to re-engage. Galio ulted.
Caitlyn does fall.
TP coming in from Twisted Fate. Fiora splitting bot by herself. I think this might be the end for
Yep.
Arios here. Galio will go down.
UJ realizing that
my lord,
they-
Twisted Fate's damage now.
Yeah, UJ realizing that they have to make some hero plays. But, you know, hero plays are 1 in 100. And it's not like... It's not like they got unlucky or they played poorly. It's, you know, they had to get quite lucky, and it's just not going to
I
happen.
don't know if Fiora's capable here of pulling a miracle like she did last time.
Oh.
She killed one. Can she do it again? Get after Zeri. Kills...
No way, right?
Zeri's going to end the game.
Yep.
She probably could have 1v3'd them.
Yeah,
like
no,
that,
yeah.
but that
If
wasn't the issue.
Yeah, if all three of them had stayed looking at her, she probably could have won.
So before you hit continue and we lose our endgame stats, we can see, looking at the kills and stuff here, like, Fiora's got a great stat line. Zen's got a great stat line. I think Galio, I think almost everybody on our team is doing good in terms of, like, you know, kills and assists.
Yeah.
We're all positive except for the support. Our support doesn't need to be. She just needs to get assists.
Yeah. And
but
14 assists is a lot of assists.
yeah, I mean, it's the same the other support made, but that isn't everything, apparently. It isn't enough just to be winning in kills and assists. I guess we have to...
Still the macro play.
Yeah, we have to win the crucial team fights, and we have to take the right objectives. And it was a come-from-behind victory for the other team, for sure. But we were on the other side of that coin last week. This time we're on this side, so now we got perspective for both. So it sucks, but we see what we learned from this, and we put into practice come next week, I suppose.
Sandy Chia, good game. It was fun to cast. We appreciate it. And best of luck to you guys in the coming weeks. And I guess if you guys would want to scrim, just saying, if you guys want to scrim, probably wouldn't be a terrible scrim partner. I'm just tossing it out there if you guys want to do that.
Yeah, definitely look competitive. I think it'd be
it
beneficial for both teams for sure.
There were definitely points where it wasn't close, but I would argue the large majority of it was pretty close. So, yeah, if you guys want to scrim, just throw it in chat or message one of our guys or our coach or something, and we would be more than happy to set up scrims for you guys. But yeah, it was a close series. It was 2-0 for Embry-Riddle, so a little unfortunate for us UJ fans, but it was a good competitive series.
Yeah, there was a lot of positive things that I took out, despite the losses. Like, we saw moments of, like, wow, this is looking pretty good, particularly in the beginning of Game 2 for UJ, which was such a turnaround from the Game 1, how that played out, but definitely lessons to be learned as well. So, the good and the bad, we can learn from both, I'm sure. So.
Yep. And, ooh. We got a few follows from Embry-Riddle. We appreciate it, guys. Looking like the players filing in. So, yeah, we appreciate the follows. Every follow helps. And the good sportsmanship in chat, too. You love to see it. There have been very few teams that have come into our chat and actually just been friendly. Unfortunately, we've had some times when people have come into chat and not been friendly.
Oh,
and so it's good to see that you guys are good sports. Even with the 2-0 victory. So,
yeah.
Like,
if you've ever played any norm or ranked or anything, normally it's pretty toxic.
Oh, yeah. I've heard League is very, very friendly and not toxic at all. But, yeah, GG's to Embry-Riddle. It was a good series. It was fun to cast, and I had a co-caster. That's a good time.
Right. It was fun to be a part of it. I've only ever been from the player's perspective, and now I get to sit back and have a third-person view and root the old Jimmies on. So
if you want to be a recurring caster every Wednesday, I can't say I'd be opposed to it.
I think that's the plan. We'll see.
Yes.
I don't know how my schedule's gonna change, but if it stays the way it is right now, I likely will be back until you guys finish the season.
Oh, very exciting. But I think that's it for tonight. So even though I've said it about 15 times now, GG's to Embry-Riddle. It was a fun series to watch. We are having an in-person Smash showing tomorrow. So the match is at 6. We're going to hopefully have stuff set up by like 5:30ish. So if people want to start filing in, it's going to be right upstairs here in the Hanson. And it's not just students that are allowed, any community members, any friends from outside the school that want to be part of it. You're more than welcome to come and root on our Smash players. There's going to be a gift card giveaway, so that'll be exciting. I think there's going to be some snacks and stuff. And you just get to interact with the players, too, and that'll be really fun. It'll help everyone see just exactly what UJ Esports is up to, and that'll be really cool, both for us and for everyone else.
So a Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament in the gymnasium for the whole like community?
No, so it's our normal weekly match.
Okay.
But we're competing upstairs. You're familiar with like the big
Yes,
TV.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're competing on that. The casters are going to be live. We're going to have seating for everyone. So that should be really, really cool. And if it pans out, if it works out well, and if enough people show up, it could be a weekly thing. So if you guys want it to be a weekly thing, come out and support us, and it'll be absolutely incredible. It'll be so, so cool. Yep, I think that's enough rambling from me. I guess was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, it was good, and I look forward to see what we can learn from this and see what we put into play come next week for League of Legends. So, but yeah, go support all the University of Jamestown's athletics, esports, and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go to a basketball game, go to a volleyball game, go to football, go to hockey. Because hockey, I'm pretty sure, is still technically a club sport. So they appreciate the support even more than regular sports do. Like, we're club, hockey's club, shooting sports are club, but I don't know if they're spectating for those just yet. Yeah, come out and support everyone, not just us. We appreciate it, especially us, but support everyone. And speaking of support, don't forget to follow, if you're not following, both here on Twitch and on our social medias, UJ_esports on Twitter and Instagram. Sub if you so wish. I think we have emotes now, right? Do we have channel-specific emotes? Maybe not.
If you have Amazon Prime, you have access to one free sub that won't cost you a thing, and you can send that free donation to University of Jamestown Esports, and we would very greatly appreciate it.
That'd be insane. And then you sub and chat, and then you get to hear me like scream into the mic for 40 seconds. That's kind of cool. And if you want to donate, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen. Every donation helps. And it's going to be through eTeams, I believe. I think. I know we have an eTeams fundraiser as well. I believe that QR code takes you to eTeams. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you to my co-caster for joining me. Hopefully everything will pan out and you can be here every Wednesday. I think people enjoyed this stream much more than the past ones just because someone that actually understands League of Legends has been talking. And thank you to all the viewers for your support. Thank you for the new follows. Thank you for all the chat involvement. And thanks for just coming out and supporting us. So, yeah, you guys can go do whatever you want now. Now that your obligatory esports binge is done for the night. So thanks for stopping by and have a good night.